We're taking the Tundra on its first, not considered off-road driving, but I would say trail driving. Out here in South Florida, we don't have a lot of off-roading like you guys have up there in the West Coast, but we do have some rough trails. And that's currently what I'm doing right now. So before we start doing all the upgrades and the mods to the truck, I want to see its capacity in its stock form and see what it's capable of. So that's currently what we're doing right now. Let's see how it goes and see what kind of conditions we can get into. So the car, as you can tell, is probably going to be as dirty as it's going to get. And you see the front grille and all that stuff. It's just full of bugs. The highway that we live on and we drive on all the time is just nothing but bugs. So I've actually never come down this road or these trails here as far as I'm about to go. And like I said, guys, please, before you start throwing down the comments and letting me know that's nothing, I get it. I do not live in the West Coast. We do not have crazy off-road trails over here. We just have some, you know, unpaved roads with some dirt roads. You might get some swampy areas and get some, you know, some water crossings, which I'm a little sketch about that with a brand new truck. But we have these kind of things out here, and this is where we're going to put the truck to. And for the most part, we might get into some rougher stuff as we go and travel up north, stuff like that, but nothing too crazy like rock crawling or anything like that. So I don't plan or don't intend to make my truck into that kind of capacity. We're going to be making this truck more of a camping rig, more for that kind of stuff. And that's our intentions. So keep that in mind as you're watching this video. And before you start throwing down the comments, you know, how this is nothing, I get it. It is not. But this is what we have over here, and this is what our truck's going to be made for. You see, because we live so close to the Everglades, in these trails that we're currently in right now, during the wet season, these things can be actually impassable in a lot of spots because the water is so high. In that wet season, you know, our summer months, this thing is just full of water everywhere. So a lot of people like to come out here and go mudding and stuff like that. But like I said, it's a little sketch because you imagine putting a brand new truck in something that you're gonna flood it, get it full of water, and yeah, that's pretty costly. So I don't know. Let's keep going down this trail and see what we get into and what we can find. Basically, you find a lot of water crossing things like this right in the the middle of the trail, where it's like a bit of a rut and it's water. So this is as bad as it's getting so far. I mean, you feel that it's very mucky because you gotta accelerate a little bit because the water, the truck kind of slides a little bit once you're in that. So in the wet season, this thing must be insane to go through. Whoa, whoa. Well, fell that's for sure. I do feel that these tires are doing very well on this kind of terrain, as far as this rocky terrain, and even the muddy situations we're getting into where you find this bit of these water holes. It's getting good grip. I have at no point needed to throw it into four-wheel drive yet, so we haven't gotten into anything too crazy. But you do feel that it gets really good traction. It runs nicely through all these very rocky trails, which, like I said, is for the most part what we're going to be in. So I like the fact that, you know, we're able to do these kind of things with these tires, and it does it very well, apparently. Man down, man down. I just crashed my drone into a tree. It is so difficult to film yourself while you're driving. I mean, flying a drone and driving, yeah, it's kind of like drinking and driving, don't do it right. I crashed that thing into a tree trying to get a side profile, and it's not the first time. I've crashed things so many times. These things are made like so rock solid because I've crashed things so many times and it keeps flying. But let's go get our drone back. For a long time, I've been on these trails completely by myself, have not seen a soul, well, besides that panther or bobcat, whichever one it was, and some birds, obviously. But now there's actually a car coming behind me, so I have no cell service out here. I'm really, really far out. I'm by myself. It's cool to have someone behind you hitting the trails as well and see that other people are out here enjoying it. I mean, you have tons of tire tracks through all these trails, so you can see a lot of people come out here. This is our first time hitting it up, and we'll see, you know, how this goes. We do plan on later down the road getting my wife a, I don't know, hopefully, maybe a Land Cruiser or a Lexus GX. Had that at least for the family as well, a little SUV, but that's coming down later down the road. But for now, this is our off-roading camping vehicle, all together family vehicle, everything one and done until we get the other vehicle. But we are enjoying it very much. We do still need to do a lot of modifications. Like I said, this video is for me to test out the capabilities of this truck. With its completely being stock, nothing else done to it besides our tents, before we start adding all those modifications. Once we start adding all those modifications to the truck, we'll see what it's gonna be like, what the truck's gonna do, and what else we can get into. In a recent fire, this thing is all, looks like it burnt down not that long ago. So yeah, I gotta be careful because it is dry season right now, and fires can light up like nothing out here of all these dry trees. So far, I'm surprised that there's no extremely crazy rattling of the car, of, you know, making any insane, like, no, yeah, no, none of that. I was concerned that might be one of the situations where I've been wanting to test that out and figure out, you know, how much of a rattling sound will be in the car if I hear a lot of stuff, you know, kind of rubbing together. But I mean, you're obviously gonna hear some kind of rattling because I got stuff in the car, so that stuff shakes. But nothing too crazy, and this thing is really, really, as you can see, rocky. So you listen up to this. There wasn't a whole lot of shaking and vibrating in the car when you're going down these different obstacles here in terrains, but I did notice that when you change some of the terrains, a little bit more shaking in some areas than others. And particularly, I want to talk about the center console. I have heard other people talk about this before. If you can hear that, that's the sound of it in the background. So I got into a little bit more different, like rocky terrain here, and it's starting to make a lot of vibrating sounds. So you want to listen up to this. Yeah, so if you can hear that, I mean, that's the sound of it. I mean, granted, I am on off-road, off pavement, so you know, the car's gonna make some sounds. I never heard that sound when on a regular paved road, so until they make it when I'm, you know, on the street. But I am hearing it here, so, you know, that's just something to think about when you're off-roading, I guess, with it. You know, just some of the sounds you might hear. But look, we just got onto paved ground, and you can't hear it now. So, yeah, not that bad. Yeah, she is dirty. I mean, look at all the mud on the tires, rims. I mean, the inside here. I don't know if you guys can see that. But I think we've gotten her as dirty as she's gonna get. So far, guys, I have been super satisfied with the truck. At no point in time did I get into any four-wheel drive situation. It was all two-wheel drive. But the tires, I think, made a great, fantastic difference. These tires that I have on the truck, they came with the Ridge Grapplers. I mean, it got so much traction the whole way through. Every time I got into any kind of mud pit or anything like that, you know, it seemed to be no issue whatsoever at any point. This is only the beginning of what's in store for this truck, guys. So please make sure to stay tuned. See all the modifications we'll be making to this truck. As I said, this thing is completely stock. I have not done anything to the truck yet. Everything on it is as it came from the factory, besides adding some tints onto the window. That's it. So whatever you guys have seen in this video is what it will do if you guys were to buy your own truck as well, take it off the factory and bring it out to situations like this. It will do the same exact thing my truck has just done. Like I said, I'm not gonna be doing any kind of crazy off-roading modifications to the truck. I will be doing things to it, but nothing for crazy rock crawling or anything like that, because that's not what we have here. And for me to get from Florida all the way to West Coast, it's insane. So I probably won't be doing many of those situations, but it will have off-road capabilities. I will be doing a lot of things to it from here on into the next couple years to make it very capable for whatever situations we may get into. So make sure you stay tuned for those things. Let's go get this baby washed right now because she is super dirty and I don't want to leave it like that. So let's go do that.